Hello. Hi everyone. My name is Alicia and I am from the Spanish program. I'm studying translation. And today I'm going to tell you about my internships this summer. I had 2 of them actually, and I went to Maricopa County first, which is in Phoenix, Arizona, and Bilingual Language Services in Peru. So the first stop for me this summer was Maricopa County, which is in Arizona. And I'm from Arizona, so for me that was my ideal internship. I know people who've worked at the court as court interpreters before, so I always thought that maybe that would be a fun career, but I never thought I could do it. So when I found out that there was an opportunity to be an intern, I knew that I had to do this, because this could be a potential employer for me, and I don't regret it at all. So our main activities as court interpreting interns were classes with Scott Luce. Scott went to Miss like 30 years ago, I think. So he's very familiar with the programs, and he really sat us down and gave us terminology hints. He taught us about the legal system, the Mexican legal system as well. So we really got a lot of classroom time, both like terminology and about interpreting as well. We also got to shadow and observe a lot of the interpreters that were professional and full-time. A lot of them went to Miss, so it was good to have that experience of kind of talking to them about their careers. And because we were at a court, we got to go to a lot of trials, we got to go to hearings. We didn't actually get to go to the jails, which is something that I thought would have been fun, but it was a really good experience anyway. And we did have chances to practice interpreting. We weren't certified interpreters, so we couldn't actually go and be a court interpreter, but we often sat in the back of the room and just did simul by ourselves. There were multiple interns, so we just sat there and did simul for each other, and then we'd give each other feedback afterwards. And we also did some sight translation with Scott and with some of the professional interpreters. So here's some photos. This is me and my friend Alicia. We were the 2 Miss interns for June. So they gave us our own desks, and when we had a lot of free time, we would sit and make glossaries. So I have a huge glossary of all this legal terminology that I didn't know in either English or Spanish, which I found to be very helpful. And then what Alicia is doing in this photo is they have, it's called For the Record, and it's a recording of all the things that happen in the courtrooms. So we would just sit in our free time and simul the proceedings into Spanish. This is us at the old courthouse. We went to a juvenile dependency hearing, as well as a bunch of other types of hearings. And again, we sat in the back. They gave us headsets like you guys have, plus a microphone, and we just interpreted for each other. No one could hear us, so it was no pressure, but we really got to practice with all the terminology we were hearing. Finally, the team from Maricopa County was so fun and so nice to us. They're really trying to recruit interpreters, so they were really welcoming. They wanted to get us to join later. And so you can see Alicia and I had a lunch with them, our last lunch. And there were 2 more interns that went in July, Jasmine and Paula. So they did the same thing for them, which was really nice. So then my next stop this summer was Lima in Peru, and I went to Bilingual Language Services, BLS for short. So the main activities of this internship, because it was a T&I internship, we did a lot of translating, a lot of editing and revision, and we also did get to do some conference interpreting, and we worked in their QA department. So what this meant was we did both translation and we did quality assurance for their OPs, or their over-the-phone interpreters. We would listen to the phone calls that they were getting. A lot of them had to do with medical appointments, insurance calls. Basically, we just listened in. We got some good feedback for them, actually, about their English. We learned some new things in Spanish, and it was a great experience. So this is the team at Bilingual. There were actually 3 interns from Miss. It was me, Sydney, and Taylor, who was still in Peru. And there was actually another intern from Peru as well. So there were 4 of us total. Everyone at Bilingual was young. I think the oldest person was like 35. So it was a really fun environment. Everyone was nice, and we learned a lot. This is Taylor and I at our desks. We were translating a drilling contract, which was the hardest thing I've ever translated, but we learned a lot of good terminology. a lot of the topics we translated about were mining, oil, a lot of economic terms. So this is something that really got us to practice the terminology we learned in first year. And we had a little mascot named Costa, which was very fun every day. And we did get to do some conference interpreting, which I was really excited about because I'd never been to a conference before where they had interpreters. So in the corner, this is a picture of me and Taylor. We went to a RENIEX conference, and that's one of the Peruvian organizations, government organizations. We didn't actually get to interpret here, but we sat in the audience and we just observed the professional interpreters. We did what you guys are doing with the headsets, and it gave us a lot of good simul terminology tips. I got to go in the booth and interpret about a casino conference, which was something I never thought I'd ever do, but it was really fun, and it was the first time I've ever been on the spot where they put me live in the booth, so that was a great experience. And then our very last day in Peru, somebody called the company and said, oh my gosh, we have a room full of people at this hotel, there's no interpreter, we need 2 people right now. So they just drove Taylor and I there, we got in the booth together, we had no idea what the topic even was, and they let us go on our own. So that was a really good experience. It was real, we didn't have any preparation. So it was one of those experiences that I will never forget, and it really helped me prepare for a future career if I ever decide to do this. Finally, the best part about my summer was spending it with my classmates and friends. So Erendira, on her way to another internship, actually came to Peru, and our professor, Ivan, was there as well. So we got to spend time with him and Taylor. We went to Machu Picchu, we went to the museums in Lima, we went to Cusco at night, and it was a really great experience to spend time with my friends. So the advice I will give to you guys is that just think about this internship search as your one summer left before the real world hits. So not to stress anyone out, but when you're thinking about what you want to do this summer, think about what would really help you before you start promoting yourself with your career. I knew that I wanted to go abroad and really work on my Spanish, but I knew that that Maricopa internship was something that I would regret if I didn't do it. So I knew that that's something I wanted to do because it could be an employer for me. So just think about what's going to work best for you, what's something you've always wanted to learn that you haven't had the chance to yet. And that's what you should go for when you're looking for an internship. Also, use your resources. Winnie is awesome. I sat down with her when I had a list of potential internships. We just checked things off as we went, and she really helped me out. Zocalo is where I actually found the Peru internship. They didn't announce it anywhere else, so Zocalo really works. And then ask former students. There's me, there's obviously 4 people who went to Maricopa, 3 of us were in Peru, and a bunch of other people were in New York. So ask any of us for advice, we'll give it. Bring your business cards wherever you go. The one thing that Erendira and I did in Maricopa was the very last day, we got everybody a thank you note, we put in a piece of chocolate in our business cards, and that made sure that everyone remembered us from then on, and they offered us jobs. So I swear it works. Make sure you bring your business cards. And then finally, just keep in touch with your friends wherever you go. Chances are you'll all be in the same area or very close, and it'll make your summer even better. Thank you.